Hello and welcome to Algebra. Today we're going to start a new lesson. We're going to be looking at more multiplication properties of exponents. Alright, when you raise a power to a power, basically we're going to, if you have a to the m, it's a little easier if you use some actual numbers. So let's say we had a to the third and we raise it to the second power. Basically you just multiply those exponents, a to the sixth. Now in more complicated version, I like to Xerox it. So if we have a to the third to the second, I'll just make two copies of it. A to the third, a to the third. And it just makes things much simpler. Now you can do either version, but sometimes it's easier with a little bit more complicated problem to go ahead and Xerox it. Now, if we do have a problem like this, so we have a to the fourth raised to the third, we need to Xerox it. That's right, Xerox it. But whatever you do, don't get mad like this guy does. Just be calm. So hopefully we don't have a meltdown like that, but let's try to see if we can do one of these problems. Now in this problem they're asking us basically what is this exponent going to be here. We're going to complete each equation. So 4 times x to the third times y to the fifth raised to some power equals 16 times x to the sixth times y to the 10th. Now you could probably just look and say, you know what, 4 to what power gives me 16? And if you said 2, you would be right. But if you get one that's a little bit more complicated, the process we're going to do here is we're going to say 4x to the third, y to the fifth. I'm going to start with one copy. I'm just going to make a second copy and just see what happens. Because I know it's not 4. It's not x to the third, it's not y to the fifth. Let's see if two copies will do it. Let's rearrange it. Using the commutative and associative properties. 4 times 4 is 16. X, we're going to rack them up, x to the sixth, rack them up, y to the 10th. And you notice that's exactly what we wanted to have. How many copies did I have to make? I had to make 2 copies. Let's try a little bit more difficult one. X to the 2/3 power times, give me to the what power? And we want this to end up being 2. So I'm going to start off with one copy. X to the 2/3. Well, obviously that is not 2. Let's try 2 copies. X to the 2/3 times x to the 2/3. Well, let's rack them up. 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3. 4/3 is not 2. Let's try 3 copies. Let's see, 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. That is 1, 2, 3. So 2, 4, 6 thirds. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that is what I had wanted. So this is going to be a 3. Now the other thing you can do is basically to set this up like an equation. If this tended to be, you can see mathematically, if this gets a little long, it's going to be very difficult to complete this. So let's think this a little bit different way. 2/3 times something. Let's just write a completely new problem. 2/3 times something, let's call it y, so we don't confuse it with the x. 2/3 times y equals 2. Well, we could just literally solve this equation because we know we're multiplying these two. That sets up a nice little equation. 2/3 times y is 2, but you can divide by 2/3. When you divide by a fraction, you're going to keep, change, flip. Keep, change the division to multiplication, and flip this upside down. Put this over 1, and you notice y equals 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, or just y equals 3, so it's going to be 3. Either way you do it, but we're going to go ahead and set this precedent of Xerox. When you see this power raised right outside the parentheses, go ahead and make some Xerox copies. And of course, please try to keep your, try not to lose your temper. Try to stay calm. Not like the guy in the video that was throwing and trying to make a copy of his monitor. Have a good day.